get started is we're going to do some arm circles. Let's go ahead and get arm circles forward. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's go backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All kinds of cracking in my shoulders. Next up, we're going to do our thoracic rotations. Palms are going to be touching each other in front, arms straight out. From here, we're going to rotate 180 degrees. Follow your hand as it rotates with your head. Only rotate as far as you can. Don't force any extra rotation. Keep it controlled. We're going to get these for 5 on each side. Again, take your time with these. Opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. And 5. All right, next up, we're going to do a step back with a hip flexor stretch. Hey, Ellen. So we're going to step back with one leg. Whatever leg steps back, we're going to reach to the opposite side with the same side arm that the leg is back. So my right leg is back. That was a little confusing. My right leg is back. With my right arm, I'm going to go ahead and reach to the left. And I'm going to come back to center. I'll step forward, and then I'm going to switch sides. So stepping back with the left leg, reaching with my left arm to the right side, come back to center, and switch sides. Let's get these for 5 on each side. Take your time. Try not to overreach to where we start to lose our balance. Yes, we want to get that stretch, but we don't want to stretch too much to where we lose balance and lose stability. Another way you can do this if you want to, you can go into a half kneeling position just like this and kind of do the same exact thing. Lean to the left, and you can kind of do 5 on one side and then switching sides. Hi, welcome to class. And then we'll switch sides if you want to do it without the step back. But let's go ahead and get 5 on each side. Right here is good. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and do some snow angels. So we're going to go ahead and open up in this T position, hands behind our back, arms are straight. From here, we're going to snow angel up and down in a nice steady motion. Let's get these for 10. This is 3, 4, 5, big wings, as big as you can. 6, 7, try to keep those shoulders back. 8, 9, and 10. Next up, we're going to do waiter's bows. So again, this one helps us practice our hinging position. So basically with the hinge, we're shooting our hips back while still keeping our back relatively straight, or what's called a neutral position. So what it's going to look like, hands are going to be interlocked over my belly button. From here, I'm just going to bend at my hips or shoot my hips back while maintaining a neutral back position. And I'll come right back up by driving those hips forward. So shooting the hips back, get a stretch in the hamstrings, drive the hips forward by squeezing the glutes. We're going to get these for 10. Take your time. Don't worry too much about how far down you go. Only go as far down as you can to where your hips are moving backwards. Once your hips stop moving backwards, you do not need to go any lower than that. And that's what's going to keep your tension in your hamstrings and your glutes versus using your back to try to stand tall. But after we get our 10, go ahead and relax. Next up, we're going to do some quicker movements. We're going to do some high knees. So basically like you're running in place, but you're driving your knees up as high as you can. If you can't do high knees, if you don't feel comfortable doing high knees, you can go ahead and do a marching position just like this. But if you can, we'll go ahead and do high knees. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and high knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Next up, we're going to do butt kicks. Kind of the similar idea, but your heel is going to go towards your glutes, and you're going to be switching positions just like this. And same deal, if you don't feel like jumping around, you can do the exact same thing, but be here, okay? But we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and butt kicks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, next up, we're going to do jumping jacks. So we're gonna open up our legs into a jumping motion as we swing our arms together, and then coming back, we're gonna bring everything back inside. So what it's gonna look like is just like this, and I'll count us down again. Again, if you don't wanna jump, here's an alternative here where you do not have to leave the ground. You can step one leg out at a time. But we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, jumping jacks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Last things we're gonna do is we're gonna warm up our core. So the first exercise we're gonna do is gonna be bird dogs. So we're gonna be on our hands and knees, just like this. Knees are underneath of my hips, hands underneath of my shoulders. From here, we're gonna reach out with one arm and one leg. So to start, I'm gonna reach out with my right arm and my left leg. So whatever arm reaches out, the opposite side leg is gonna reach out. What it's gonna look like is just like this. We'll hold for a bit. We'll come back to center. If you can, you're gonna touch your hand to your knee, and then you're gonna reach right back out. Let's go ahead and get these for 5 on each side. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. We'll do 5 on one side, and then we'll switch sides. 2, it's okay if you go at a different pace than me. 3, don't rush it. 4, keeping that core tight. And 5, we'll go ahead and switch sides when you're ready. 1, 2, again, take your time. 3, 4, and 5. When you're done, go ahead and relax. Stay on the ground. The last ab exercise we're gonna do to warm up are gonna be side planks. So basically, you have 2 options for these. You can do your side plank from your feet. So what it's gonna look like, shoulders are gonna be in line with my hips, and they're gonna be in line with my feet to hold this straight position here. Again, if you can hold this from your feet, go ahead and do so. If not, you can do the exact same thing, but from your knees instead. A little bit easier, but it still allows you to use your core, use your obliques to hold this straight body position. But we're just gonna hold it for a count of 15, okay? So we're gonna go up in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and switch sides. I'll give us some time to switch over. I'll count us down. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, up. 15, 14, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. All right, we should be warmed up. So again, the way this class works is we're gonna do 5 different exercises per block. We have 3 blocks in total. Each block is gonna be done for 3 rounds. So each round, we're gonna do exercise 1 through 5. That'll be 1 round, and we're gonna keep going until we get 3 rounds in total. Exercise number 1, it's gonna be front squats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hold on to 2 dumbbells, hold them in this front rack position, so staying nice and tall, shoulders back and down. While keeping the dumbbells high up above the shoulders, we're gonna go into a squat. So it's gonna be a little bit more of an upright squat. You don't want your dumbbells to dip down or drop in front of you. You wanna stay tall up top to keep those dumbbells leveled. You can go body weight to start, and you can always increase the weight if needed. After we do that, again, we're gonna be working for 35 seconds. We'll take a 20-second rest, and then we're gonna go into exercise number 2. Exercise number 2 is gonna be a single arm push press. So basically, the way I think about this is a shoulder press, but you're kind of using your legs to help you out. So what you're gonna do with one arm, you're gonna hold your dumbbell shoulder height here, core is tight. You're gonna kind of go into like a quarter squat position, like you're gonna squat down. Once you get to the bottom of that quarter squat, you're gonna extend your hips and your knees. And as you extend, you're gonna go into a shoulder press. So I think of it as using my legs to help me with my shoulder press. And what we're gonna do in that 35 seconds, we're gonna do reps for one side for half the time. I'll tell you when to switch, and we'll do the same amount of reps on the other side. So for this one, I do want you to count out your reps in your head, so that way you're keeping it even on each side. Exercise number 3. This one's called a 2-position bent over row. So what we're gonna do, I'll give you a front view just because it's a little bit easier to see. We're gonna hinge into position. So again, back is neutral. From here, we're gonna do a neutral grip row. So palms are facing each other. We're gonna hold up top. From here, we're gonna open up the elbows, go a little bit wide, and then we're gonna come down from there. And then before we go into the next rep, we're gonna rotate to get the palms facing each other again, and we're gonna start back in that neutral row. So basically, you're doing 2 variations of a row. Coming up, you're kind of doing a neutral row. Coming down, you're doing a little bit of a wider grip row, but working on the descent. So that's why it's called a 2-position row. Exercise number 4 is gonna be a single leg push-up. Now, like the name suggests, we're gonna be doing push-ups, but instead of having both feet on the ground, if you wanna do regular push-ups from your feet, you're gonna have one leg up, and we'll do a push-up from here. What we're gonna do is we'll shoot to do 5 to 10 reps for half the time. We'll switch sides or switch legs, and you'll get the same amount of reps for the other time. I'll let you know when to switch. Last but not least are gonna be leg lifts. So legs will be straight out, crunching the abs. We're gonna raise the legs as high up towards the ceiling as we can, controlled coming down, and we're gonna come right back up, working on using those lower abs. But those are the 5 exercises. Any questions? No? All right. Let me get the timer set up. Be ready to go. Front squats. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. 35 seconds for our front squats. Again, keeping those dumbbells up. Core stays tight, nice and controlled. Again, 35 seconds can be a long time to do exercise. So pace yourself. Your goal shouldn't be to get in as many reps as you can in 35 seconds. Your goal should be to get as many quality reps, reps that feel good, reps that don't feel unstable. That's your end goal. 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds of rest. Take a little breather. That 20 seconds comes quick. But next up, we're going to do our single arm push press. Again, I'll let you know when to switch sides. Highly recommend starting on your weaker side. For me, it's my left arm. So I'm going to start with the dumbbell on my left side. But we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. We're on. Again, use the legs to help with the shoulder press. Strong exhale as you press up. Again, keep track of your reps. I'll let you know when to switch. And switch. However many reps you got on one side, get the same amount of reps on the other side. Strong exhale as you press. Nice and controlled. Core stays tight. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. I forgot to mention it, but with my free arm, I like to hold my arm at a 45-degree angle just to kind of act as a counterbalance. So don't feel like you have to have your arm tight here. Kind of hold it out here to act as a counterbalance to the weighted side. Well, let's be ready to go. We got push-ups in 2-position rows. And we're on. So again, rowing in the neutral position. Open up the elbows. We'll come down. Then we'll tuck the elbows back in and row again. Nice and controlled. So again, coming up, we're keeping the elbows tight to the body. Coming down, we're going to open up those elbows, have them a little bit further away from the body, and repeat the process. Take your time, all while holding this strong position in our back. And relax. 20 seconds of rest, and then we got our single leg push-ups. Again, I'll let you know when to switch sides. If you can't do the single leg push-ups or regular push-ups from the knees, works just as well. You can even do the same thing, but from the knees. So one knee on the ground. So it doesn't have to be from the feet. And we're on. Again, I'll let you know when to switch. Shoot for about 5 to 10 push-ups. And switch. Take your time. Again, don't rush it. Once you even it out, go ahead and relax. Whatever extra time you have, take it. Use that extra rest. 3, 2, 1. We got leg lifts next in 15 seconds. Take a little breather. Again, take your time. Don't rush it. Be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Crunching the lower abs. Try not to let your legs touch the ground. If you let your legs get too low, you start to lose the engagement. You lose that tension in your abs. So try to keep that lower back flat to the ground. Again, take your time with these. Don't rush it. 10 more seconds. Almost there. Push to the burn. 3, 2, 1, and relax. 20 seconds, and we're back into the front squats. First block is always the hardest. Again, goal of this class is to push ourselves, also staying safe, right? If you're tired and you need to take that extra 5, 10 seconds of rest, go ahead and take it. And we're on. Again, we're just trying to work, push ourselves, but to a certain extent, we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. Make sure I'm still aware of how I'm moving. And again, it doesn't hurt to take some extra rest if you need it. Almost there. 10 seconds. Again, pace yourself. And relax. Single arm push presses are next. Again, start off on the weaker side, and then we'll switch. I'll let you know when to switch. 10 more seconds. Almost there. You ready to go? 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Strong exhale as you press. And again, use the legs to help you with that shoulder press. And switch. Same amount of reps on the other side. Keep it even. If you do start off on your weaker side, you should be able to finish the stronger side a little bit faster, so you have some extra time to rest. 20 seconds of rest. Try to slow down the breathing. Again, next up, we got our 2-position row. Nice and controlled. Again, we're rowing with the elbows tight. We're opening up and then coming down. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Strong row. Open up the elbows. Control it coming down. Tuck those elbows back in before you start to row. Or another way you can think about it is as you get to the bottom, you're going to rotate your dumbbells to where the palms are facing each other. So it's not just the elbows opening and closing. The actual dumbbells will be rotating as well. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Next up, we got our push-ups. 15 more seconds. Ooh. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Let's finish this round strong. Be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, 5 to 10. I got 6 last time, and I felt like that was a perfect pace. But again, everybody's pace will be different. And switch. Take your time. Use the extra rest. Those are good. 3, 2, 1. Again, you can do the push-ups from the feet or from the knees. If you start from the feet, don't be afraid to transition to the knees. That's perfectly fine. 10 more seconds. Last but not least, we got our leg lifts. Be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Lift the legs as high as you can. I kind of like to get my hips off the ground as I bring my legs to the top, just to get that extra crunch at the top. Again, don't worry about how low you bring your legs. I'd rather you keep your legs a little bit higher off the ground, but still be able to keep the abs tight until you go so low that you lose the engagement in the abs. 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds of rest. Again, if you need more rest before you go into the next round, take it. Again, I know this one's not easy. This block is a pretty challenging one, but we're almost there. One more round. 5 more seconds. Again, take the extra rest if you need it. Grab some water if you need it. And we're on. Just because we take an extra 10 seconds, grab a sip of water, doesn't take anything away from the workout. Again, we want to challenge ourselves, push ourselves. We also want to make sure we're staying safe, pacing ourselves so we can finish the workout. Don't rush it. Let's finish. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. 15 or 16 more seconds. Grab some water if you need it. Get some air. Switch the weights if you need to. Three more seconds. We got our push press. And we're on. And again, take your time with these. I like to take that extra pause to kind of catch my breath. And switch. Even out the reps. Again, just a quarter squat. Bending the hips and knees. And then as we extend those hips and knees, we'll go into our shoulder press. And time. Next up, 2 position row. Again, take your time with these. Take the extra rest if you need to. 10 more seconds. Last round for the block. Then we get a nice rest before the next block. Again, our first block's always the hardest. And we're on. Strong row. Open up. Before we go into the next row, squeeze those elbows together. Rotate the dumbbells. Nice and controlled. Again, take your time with these. If you are getting tired, stand back up, take an extra breath, and then hinge back into position. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Next up, we got our push-ups. Again, another thing too you can always adjust with the exercises is adjust the weights, right? Just because you start off with a weight for the first round, don't be afraid to drop the weights later on in the round. It's perfectly fine. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. The goal isn't to lift as much weight as possible. We're just using that weight for some extra resistance. We're not trying to max out any specific lift. And switch. Again, once you even out your reps, go ahead and relax. Almost there. Leg lifts are next. 20 seconds of rest, and then we're back on. Use this time to regather yourself. 10 more seconds. We'll get on the ground. Last exercise for the round. And for the block. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, take your time with these. If your legs start to feel heavy, you can bend your knees and just do knee tucks instead. The further out your legs are, or the more extended your legs are, the harder it is. So if it is getting pretty challenging, just bend those knees and can still get that crunching motion. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Solid job, everyone. That was block number 1. Grab some water, get some air. We got a minute, and then I'll go over the next round of exercises. Take your time. Again, even after that minute, if you need more rest, definitely take it. But solid job. Whew. Whew. First block's always the hardest. Again, use this time to stretch out if you need to. Again, goal is to challenge yourselves. But if you're feeling any aches, any pains with an exercise, you can't push through that kind of pain. So if you do feel like you're doing a squat or any exercise and your joint is sore, just take a step back, drop the weights, or do a different exercise. Don't try to push through any kind of joint pains. But next round of exercises, same deal. 5 exercises, each exercise 35 seconds. Exercise number 1 is going to be a pause RDL. So if you remember the waiter's bow that we did for warm-ups, basically same thing, but you're going to be holding weight if you want to. You do not need to use weight for this exercise. But basically, like the name suggests, you're going to go into an RDL. So you're going to shoot the hips back as far as you can. For me, it's about here. I'm going to hold for about a second or two, and then I'm going to stand right back up. So nice and controlled. Hold, squeeze the glutes to stand tall. Key point with this exercise, it looks like it's a vertical movement, right? Because my weights are moving up and down. But don't think about it as a vertical movement. Think about it as a horizontal movement. Your hips moving back and forward is what's bringing the weight down. So don't think about bringing the weights down, because that's what's going to cause you to use your back. Think about shooting the hips back, and that will naturally bring your weights down. And vice versa when coming up. Drive your hips forward, and that's what's going to bring your weights up. Exercise number 2 is going to be a step back bicep curl. Basically, it's like a curl and a lunge. This one can be pretty challenging, so don't worry about using weight. You can use body weight. But we're going to start off at the top of this curl position. So just like this. As I step back into a lunge, I'm going to extend my arms just like this. And as I stand back up, that's when I'm going to curl, and then I'll switch sides. So nice and controlled. So think when I'm stepping down or stepping back and down, my dumbbells are going down. When I'm standing back up, my dumbbells are going to come up. And we're going to switch legs every single rep. And again, you do not need to use weight. You can do the same exact thing without weights here. Sorry, this way. Without weights works just as well. Or you can just do backward lunges. Or again, if this hurts joints and lunges aren't your thing, just do squats, really anything else. Don't try to push through the pain. Exercise number 3 are going to be reach throughs. So this is going to be more of a mobility exercise. You're going to be on your hands and knees, just like this. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach through my arm. So my left arm is going to reach through to the other side. If you can, try to get your shoulder to touch the ground. But once you reach through, you're going to come right back up to your starting position, and you're going to switch sides, rotating as much as you can. So this is more of a mobility exercise. Goal of this exercise isn't to get in as many reps as you can, so don't start weaving through really quickly. Take your time with this one. Use it to kind of regather yourself and catch your breath again. Exercise number 4 is going to be a lateral lunge. So we're going to step over to the side and laterally lunge here. Take your time with these. Again, if you don't want to step laterally, it is a little bit more of an advanced exercise. You can just go ahead and do a lateral step to the side. Either way, practicing some kind of lateral movement. Exercise number 5. This one is called a army crawl plank. Not gonna lie, this one's pretty challenging. So I have 2 variations for you. First way is from the full push-up position. From here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly work your way to your forearms or to that plank position, and then you're gonna work your way back up to the push-up position. The way I think about it is I'll go down with my left arm first, and then I'll come up with my left arm first, and then I'll switch sides. I'll go down with my right arm, come up with my right arm. So you can do it from the push-up position. You can also do it from the knees here, just like this. Same deal, switching from the hands to the forearms. That is the alternative, okay? But those are the 5 exercises. Any questions? No? All right. 20 more seconds and we'll be back on. Starting off with the pause RDLs. Let's be ready to go. Again, use the extra rest if you need to. We are gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Shoot the hips back, hold, drive the hips forward by squeezing the glutes. Again, only go as low as you can, as far as the hips can take you. Once your hips stop moving backwards, you can stop right where you are. Don't feel like you have to bring the dumbbells any lower. Just hold, keep the back strong, and squeeze the glutes to stand tall. Take your time with these. Again, your goal is to maintain the position of your back while shooting the hips back and driving the hips forward. And relax. Solid job. Next up, we got our step back bicep curls. Again, we're gonna start off in the curled position or arms up. As we go down, we'll extend the arms down. As we come up, we'll curl the arms up. But again, we'll switch sides every single rep. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Take your time with this. Again, it is a balance exercise as well. Nice and controlled. Don't worry too much about how far down you go. As long as you're keeping your range of motion relatively the same on each side, that's perfectly fine. Don't feel like you have to go super low to where your elbows, or not your elbows, your knees touch the ground. That'd be pretty impressive if you can get your elbows to touch the ground from here. But again, don't worry about going super low. And relax. Solid job. Take a little breather. Next up, we got our reach throughs. Again, use this one as a chance to catch your breath again. This one's super slow. Again, whatever arm you're reaching with, you're gonna reach to the opposite side. Try to get your shoulder to touch the ground. And we're on. Again, take your time with these. Hold that stretch. Use this time to catch your breath. If you want to, you can even just sit tall, focus on your breathing. Think of this like a free round or free exercise. You can do the mobility exercise, or you can use it as an extra rest. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Take a little breather. Solid job. Again, next up, we got our lateral lunges. Same thing with this one. Don't worry about how far down you go. And again, if you don't want to do the lateral lunge, just do some lateral walks. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Make sure you have enough space to your left and right. Again, you're bending the knee forward and out. You're hinging at the hip. Basically, the way I think about this is I'm squatting on one half of my body. So much so that people at home, if you take a side view, looks like the side of a squat. So don't feel like you have to really change anything or you have to lean really far to the left or right. Just do a squat on one half of your body and you'll naturally start to lunge towards that side. And relax. Last but not least, we got the arm and crawl planks. Again, from the push-up position with the feet on the ground or from the knees. Either one works. But take your time with these. Don't rush it. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. I kind of like to take the extra pause up top to really make sure I'm staying as tight as I possibly can. If you do get tired from that push-up position, go ahead and switch over to the knees. That's perfectly fine. Almost there. And relax. All right. That was round number 1. I think I lied. First block is not always the hardest. This one's pretty tough. Take your time. Next up, we got our pause RDLs. 5 more seconds. Block 1 was still harder though. And we're on. Nice and controlled. Again, pause and hold at the bottom. Once your hips stop moving backwards, that's when you stop moving as well. Don't try to squeeze out any extra range of motion, because then you're going to start to feel it in the lower back. We want to try to keep this one away from the lower back, keep the tension in the hamstrings and the glutes. Get that stretch at the bottom. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Take a little breather. Next up, we got our step back curls. Again, starting at the top of the curl position. 10 more seconds. Feel free to adjust the weights. Feel free to drop the weights. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and strong. Again, extending the arms as you go down. Bending, curling the arms as you come up. Almost there. Again, take your time with these. Don't rush it. Almost there. I know there's a lot going on with this one. Takes a lot of focus. So take your time. And relax. Solid job, solid job. Reach through is our next. Let's go on the ground. Hands and knees. Again, you can use this for the mobility exercise. You can use this to catch your breath. Grab some water if you need. Whatever you need to do to finish the workout strong. You can even hold this stretch for 10, 15 seconds if you want to, and then switch sides. Whatever you need to do. Take your time. Five more seconds. And relax. 20 seconds of rest. Almost there. Lateral lunges are next. Again, you do not need to use weight for this one. You do not even need to do lateral lunges. Stepping laterally to the side here, that works as well. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Don't worry too much about the range of motion. As long as we're driving the knee forward and out, keeping that core tight, hinging at the hips. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Last but not least, we got our army crawls. Again, from the knees, from the feet. You can start off from the feet and transition to the knees. But almost there, almost done with round number 2. Let's be ready to go, because we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Take your time. Your goal is to try to stay as square to the ground as you can. Try to minimize the rotation. Ooh. Almost there. Keep that core tight. And relax. One more round to go. Solid job, everyone. Almost there, almost there. RDLs are next. Again, I know this one's not easy. We're looking good, we're looking strong. Last round for the block. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. RDLs with a pause at the bottom. You can even pause at the top. Take that extra rest. Regather yourself. Don't feel like you have to go right into the next rep. Almost there. Squeeze the glutes to stand tall. Three, 2, and 1, and relax. Solid job. Next up, we got our curls, our step back bicep curls. Ooh, last round. 10 more seconds. Try to slow down your breathing. Regather yourself as best you can. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Again, don't worry about how far down you lunge. If your legs are getting tired, feel free to just switch to regular curls. That's fine too. Wrong way. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Solid job. Next up, we got our reach throughs. 15 more seconds. Almost there. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Just hold that stretch as long as you need to. You can take your time with these. Use the rest. Use this to regather yourself. Catch your breath again. Almost there. It's funny how the time for that exercise goes by so much faster than the army crawls. You don't want that timer to go off. Lateral lunges are next. 5 more seconds. Let's finish strong. Almost there, guys. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, lateral lunges or lateral walks. Either one works. Take your time. Let's finish strong. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last exercise for the round. This song doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. Last one. 10 more seconds. Army crawls to finish up the block. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Last round. Promise you the next block is not as challenging. Take your time. Almost there. Let's finish. And relax. Solid job, everyone. That is the end of the block. One more block to go. Use this time to grab some water, get some air. A solid job, solid job. 45 more seconds. I'll go over the last round exercises. Time right now is 12:48. Running a little bit late, apologies for that. So if you do have to head out, it's perfectly fine. But get what you can in. 20 more seconds. Whew. Again, grab some water, get some air. Last block for today. I'll kind of go through these pretty quickly. Exercise number 1 are going to be speed skaters. Now, again, I have 2 variations for these. First variation, this is kind of if your first time doing speed skaters, start off like this. Basically, you're going to step to one side. You're going to kick your leg to the other side. So imagine like figure skating almost, or speed skating, not figure skating, but same idea. You're going to kind of kick your leg back just like this, get nice and low. This is the first variation. If you feel pretty comfortable with that, you can do the hopping variation here to where your back leg does not touch the ground. Again, that's a little bit more advanced. So don't start off with that one. Start off with just a step and lunge here. And if that's still challenging, you don't even have to go down. You can just kind of step back behind you here and work from here, okay? Exercise number 2, we're gonna be on the ground. These are called tape presses. Now it's kind of like a skull crusher. I'll kind of demonstrate it sitting up. We're gonna be lying down on the ground, but imagine I'm laying down on the ground right now. Usually when we do skull crushers, we have our palms facing each other and we bend the elbows here. For the tape presses, we're gonna have our palms facing downward and we're gonna bend our elbows like this. So instead of bending our elbows over our head, we're kind of bending our elbows at about shoulder level. So it's a little bit more of a stress on the triceps. So definitely go lighter with this one. Exercise number 4 is gonna be a single arm rear delt fly. So one arm here, we're gonna hinge into position and we're just gonna open up directly to one side, keeping the core tight. And we'll do both sides in the same amount of time. So I'll let you know when to switch sides. Again, make sure you're keeping track of your reps. Exercise 4 and 5. People here in class, we can use these kettlebells. They're a little bit heavier. If you need weights heavier than 15 pounds. People at home, use the heaviest dumbbell you have. But basically for 35 seconds, we're gonna do a suitcase carry. So you're just gonna hold one weight, like it's a suitcase or a briefcase, whatever length of room you have. You're just gonna walk that length of room while trying to stay as centered as you can. And we're just gonna stay here on one side for 35 seconds. We'll take our 20-second rest and then we'll switch sides to finish off, okay? So each side will have its dedicated round. Again, goal is to try to stay centered. What you don't wanna do is start walking like this, or of course you don't want the weight to pull you down and walk here. Try to stay as upright as you can. But those are the 4 exercises we're gonna do. The last exercise will be for 2 rounds. Well, let's be ready to go. Again, apologies that we're running a little bit late, but we're gonna go in 10 seconds, starting off with the speed skaters. Make sure you have room to move. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, start off with the steps. And when you feel a little bit more confident, then you can switch over, but that doesn't have to be today. You can just start off with the steps here. And again, even though the name is called speed skaters, does not mean you have to go as fast as you possibly can. I'd rather you go a little bit slower and take your time and stay balanced than to go super fast and lose your balance. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. On the ground, again, we got our tape presses. Again, we're gonna be here, bending the elbows to about shoulder level, working on the triceps. You do not need to go super heavy for these. Be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. So again, your dumbbells are gonna be pretty wide, and you're gonna bend the elbows to about shoulder or chest level, and you're gonna extend the arms using the triceps. Nice and controlled. Again, do not need to go super heavy for these. Almost there. In control the entire time. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Exercise number 4 is going to be our single arm rear delt fly. Again, I'll let you know when to switch sides. Keep track of your reps. Highly recommend starting on the weaker side. In my case, it will be my left side. You ready to go? 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, keep track of your reps. Try to stay as centered as you can. Try to minimize any kind of rotation, even if that means you don't bring the dumbbell as high. And switch. Goal of the exercise is not to see how high you can bring the dumbbell, but more so seeing how high can that rear delt bring the dumbbell up, and mainly using that rear delt. Once you even out your reps, go ahead and drop your dumbbell, relax. 20 seconds, and we got our suitcase carries. Again, we're going to be holding it on one side for the entire time. We'll take our 20-second rest, and then we'll switch sides. Whatever weight you use on one side, make sure you keep it the same on the other. So even if this side, you find that it was really easy, don't increase the weight on this next exercise. Keep the weight the same. Keep it even on each side. And again, a nice steady pace. Try not to pause and then step, because then you give your body some time to adjust and brace. Try to keep it moving so your core has to constantly fight to stay stable. Now, of course, we're also not going super fast, but somewhere in between. And relax. 20 seconds of rest, and then we're going to switch sides. 15 more seconds. Sorry, one more thing too. When you are picking up the weight, you want to make sure that you're picking up the weight centered to you and then transferring it to one side. What I don't want you to do is grab it to the side that you're going to use and then pick up from there. And we're on, just because it's a little bit safer that way. Core stays tight. Again, nice steady pace. Doesn't have to be super fast. Take your time as you rotate. Use whatever length of the room you have. Again, staying nice and tall. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Solid job. 20 seconds of rest, and then we're on to round number 2. Time is 12:56, so we will be running a few minutes over. Again, if you have to head out, that's perfectly fine. But be ready to go. Speed skaters are next. Again, make sure we have enough space on the side. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Take your time. Again, don't worry too much about how far to the side you step. Balance and control is going to be the important part. Almost there. Finish strong. And relax. All right. Tate presses are next. Again, adjust the weight. If it was pretty easy, increase the weight. If it was pretty challenging, decrease it. 5 more seconds. And we're on. Tate presses, nice and controlled. Again, bending at the elbows, about shoulder or chest level. Range of motion will be relatively small, but focus on squeezing the triceps to extend the arms. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Next up, we got our single arm rear delt fly. Again, both sides in 35 seconds. Try to stay as square to the ground as you can. Making sure we're using that rear delt or back of the shoulder to open up. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Try to minimize any swinging or swaying, keeping that core tight. And switch, even out the reps. If you even out your reps and you still got time, go ahead and squeeze out a couple more reps on each side. And relax. All right, solid job. Next up, we got our suitcase carries. Again, pick up the weight centered and then switch it to one side. Bring the weight down centered, just to keep ourselves safe. Well, let's be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Trying to stay as centered as you can, staying tall. Minimize any kind of slouching, any rounding in the shoulders. You're constantly staying as tall as you can, squeezing those shoulders back. We don't want to round in this position here. Almost there. Fight to hold your position. And relax. Take that 20 seconds of rest. And then we'll switch sides. What's that? yeah, back in the day. Yeah, if only these kettlebells had wheels, huh? You can just... And switching sides. Let's finish strong. Last exercise for round number 2. And we just got one more round to go. Again, staying tall, keeping that core tight. Trying to stay as centered as I can. But again, we're not trying to pause between steps. I'm trying to keep myself moving. So my core has to constantly make those adjustments. Don't give it time to settle. And relax, bring the kettlebell down centered. One more round to go. Let's finish strong. We're looking good. Speed skaters are next. Again, make sure we have enough space. Enough space to move. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Last round right here. This is where we finish strong. This is where the temptation sets in to just kind of go into autopilot since it's the last round, but this is where I want you to stay focused. Focus on each part of the movement. Every movement you make, you know exactly why you're making it, how you're making it. You're in control the entire time. Don't let yourself go into autopilot. Make each rep count. Let's finish strong. Solid, solid. On the ground for our tape presses. Again, nice and controlled. You are holding weight above your head, so do not lose focus. Let's be ready to go in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Nice and controlled. Core stays tight. Even though we're laying down, we're not just relaxing. We're still engaging the abs, engaging the glutes. Strong, stable base equals strong, stable movement. Almost there. Let's finish. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Next up, we got our single arm rear delt fly. So we've got a lot of time. 10 more seconds. Use that rest. Let's be ready to go. Strong hinge. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Again, keep track of your reps. Keeping it even. And switch. Core stays tight. We're nice and centered. Almost there. Once you even out your reps, go ahead and relax. Whew. Solid job, solid job. Last exercise, last 2 exercises for the day. Suitcase carries. Almost there. Let's finish this workout strong. 10 more seconds. Make sure you pick up the weight centered. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Core stays tight, standing tall. Again, keeping the kettlebell on one side. Nice and strong. Always in control. Minimize any swing. What's that? Working on our core. So minimizing the stability. But also working on your back. Trying to prevent the rounding of the shoulders here. So you gotta squeeze, retract those shoulder blades. It's kind of like a full body workout. Yeah. So if you're not feeling it too much, you can always increase the weight. Sometimes if it's like too easy, it's not too much work on your core. Almost there. And we're on. Last one for today. Last exercise for today. Brace the abs. Again, trying not to lean left, right. Trying to stay as centered as you can. Almost there. Let's finish strong. 15 more seconds. Last exercise for the day. Nice steady pace. Don't lose your position. Stay tall. Keep the shoulders back and down. And relax. Solid job, everyone. That is the workout for today. Again, yeah, good job, everyone. Thank you guys again for attending the class. I know it's not an easy one, but we always get it done. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hang around. Let me know. But if not, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. No, you're good. You're good.
See you, John. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Good job today, guys. Not an easy one, but we got it done.
Thank you,
Good job,
Jonathan.
everyone.
I forgot I joined late, but it was good actually.
No worries, no worries. All good, all good. I'll post up the video online so we'll have access to that. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Thank you.
Jeannie? Nice to meet you, Jeannie. My name is John. Oh, you're John. No worries, no worries. How'd you like the class, Jeannie? Okay, yeah.